Family, what it do? It's your girl Toot Night. I'm back with another video. Shout out to the family. I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's all you got to do. Follow me on all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? You got Snapchat, Instagram, all of those platforms. It'll be Toot Reacts. And then my streaming platforms like Twitch and Kick would be Tap In with Toot, okay? That's all you guys got to do. Follow me on my secondary reaction channel, Toot Reacts, and follow me on my personal channel, Bella and Toot. And I think you should be locked in all together, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else should probably know about my Tootie Uncensored channel, which we're going to be discussing this here, Kada Scott. I'm sick of these titles, but you guys, we have to have an awareness when it comes down to this. And this is serious business because you got a lot of things. You got social media and then you got real life. Some of us sometimes get caught up in this facade of social media. We get so transfixed on being online to where we forget about the shit that's going around us. Please do not forget about the things that's going around you. I'm begging y'all not to do that because, see, this is where sometimes shit get lost in the sauce. We get so caught up in the other shit that we forget about the worldly shit. You know what I mean? And then we got one of our family members. We got one of us, you know what I mean, out here and don't need to be out here. You feel what I mean? Awareness is key. We're going to get into the Kada Scott story. Now, she was missing for a while, but then they did find her remains. And we're going to get into the background story, all right? So without further ado, we about to slide into this video. Let me go ahead and get you guys pulled up as well. Excuse me. Hold on, make y'all bigger. I don't know what the hell is going on with my settings, y'all. I gotta get it together. I need to have one of them Best Buy geeks. I need a geek squad. I need one of them. A techie. You dig? Let's get it.
Tonight, the urgent search continues for this 23-year-old woman who went missing without a trace. She disappeared over the weekend, and now police and family asking for your help to bring her home safely. It is Wednesday night. Shari has the night off. The big story on Action News is that desperate search for Kada Scott. Investigators say she went missing while working at an assisted living facility Saturday night in Chestnut Hill. Police saying there is no recent cell phone or social media activity. They say she has not reached out to family or friends. Action News reporter Brianna Smith joining us live tonight from police headquarters with an update on this investigation. Brianna, you actually spoke with Scott's family tonight.
Yes, Greg. Kada Scott's family says it's out of character for her to not return home or leave her phone off, and now they're even more concerned.
Ganika, I'm gonna talk to you for real.
Harassed just days before her disappearance, and so now
Janika, I need to hit me on Discord, please.
From the public.
I love her. I just need her to come home and be safe. That's what I feel, that she's not safe.
Kim Matthews has been unable to eat and sleep since her daughter, 23-year-old Kada Scott.
Damn, she's so beautiful.
Sunday. Kada's father, Kevin Scott, says the family.
Damn, why did I thought her daddy was Q-Tip? He looked like an older Q-Tip, don't he? Special girl, real good girl, biggest thing in your itty bitty world.
Remains positive as they hang these flyers describing her as 5'6" and weighing 120 pounds.
My oldest daughter, I love her. Last few days been crazy. Head spinning.
Matthews says it was just like any other Saturday night. She saw Scott at home before she left for her 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift at the terrace at Chestnut Hill on East Abington Avenue. The Penn State grad recently started working at the assisted living facility as she pursued her entrepreneurial dreams.
Creative spirit, very artistic.
Philadelphia police say Scott was last seen leaving work in her black scrubs shortly after she arrived, but now there is no trace of her. Detectives say the facility does not have surveillance cameras, and they recovered her vehicle still parked outside.
You have a 23-year-old young lady who has completely disappeared. We have no cell phone activity or social media activity.
Police say they're also concerned because Kada told friends she was being harassed by someone on the phone.
She did mention it to them, but didn't give any names, names or anything like that, so we're trying to piece everything together to find out exactly who these people are.
Detectives say they're analyzing her cell phone data in hopes of identifying that person, but they remind the community the role they play in bringing Kada home.
If there's 100 pieces to a puzzle, you may think your piece is insignificant, but without your piece, that jigsaw puzzle is not being solved. So I would plead with you, whatever information you have, reach out to the police.
And police continue to search the area near Kada's job, and they're interviewing her family, friends, and co-workers. We also reached out to her management, who said in a statement that they take their associates' safety and well-being very seriously, and they're fully cooperating with law enforcement, hoping for a positive outcome.
Our loved ones are stepping up their efforts to find Kada Scott today. The 23-year-old went missing over the weekend while working an overnight shift. Police turned to the public for information surrounding her disappearance yesterday, as family members are increasingly concerned about her well-being. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas live in the neighborhood this afternoon with more on the search today. Taronda.
Well, Brian, you can't go too far here in Mount Airy without seeing a picture of Kada Scott. Her face is on posters and flyers that are posted up across this area. The 23-year-old was last seen at about 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Police have used canines, helicopters to search for her, and today her family began their own search. A desperate search for answers. Chopper 6 flying overhead as community members and loved ones of Kada Scott canvassed Mount Airy.
A lot of people don't understand the seriousness of this, and to somebody who you love, right? Just behavior becomes so strange that it's weird. First of all, I'm accustomed to where even if I don't talk to my sister in a day, I see her posting. You know what I mean? It's certain behaviors that I'm aware of. And if she not doing that, it automatically sets off a red flag for me. You know what I mean? And I just can't imagine being one of these family members who just see zero response from somebody who you're just used to seeing post or call or something. Like that alone has just got to be the scariest feeling in the world, bro.
Looking for information that could lead them to the missing 23-year-old.
It's been horrible. I just want my daughter to come home.
Her mother understandably worried after Scott did not return home Sunday morning from her overnight shift at this assisted living facility, the Terrace at Chestnut Hill. Police say shortly after arriving at work Saturday night, she left and has not been heard from since. The facility where Scott works does not have surveillance cameras. Her car was found still parked at work with no activity on her phone or social media accounts.
That's one thing I do like about the UK. The UK got CCTV cameras, TV cameras everywhere. And I think for the amount of taxes that we paying, instead of paying these inmates, let's give them some very unsettling conditions. You feel what I mean? And let's put the money to where we need it, to where people can stay safe. You feel me? Because sometimes businesses and stuff not having cameras is beyond me. I feel like that should be like a rule. You know what I mean? If you have a business, then you should have cameras set up around the whole perimeter. It should be part of the law.
She never came home. I was calling, it went straight to voicemail.
A cause for even more concern. Scott had reported being harassed just a few days before disappearing. Friends and family covering the area with flyers of Scott, who is a Penn State grad. Police say they have gotten some new tips that they're looking into now, hoping to find her.
Please, if you have children, just think of your children. I just need somebody just to help. Even if you don't think it wouldn't help, just anything will help at this point.
Breaking news, the search goes on for a missing Philadelphia woman.
That's right, 23-year-old Kada Scott was last seen Saturday night leaving her job in Chestnut Hill. Let's get right over to Action News reporter Corey Davis, live in Germantown, where an active search is happening right now. Corey, what is the latest?
So right now, investigators are telling us it's unclear exactly what they're searching for, but you can see down here at the moment there is a large police presence. We're being told by sources that this large search is being conducted in connection to the missing persons case centered on 23-year-old Kada Scott. We just saw roughly a dozen mix of buses and vans filled with what we believe to be cadets who will be used to help canvass this large wooded area down the street there around the Arbery Arboretum. It's a very large area right now, and I saw earlier K9s out there as well as police continue to get organized. This is a view where we are right now from the intersection of Ardley and Johnson Streets here in Germantown. I want to give you a look. There's some video too from when we arrived about an hour ago, shortly after officers taped off a large section of this area. We've learned that more reinforcements will be sent in to help with this search, and that's happening as I speak right now. Chopper 6 was also over the scene as police began to block off the area. So once again, sources say this search is in connection to the missing persons case centered on 23-year-old Kada Scott. She was last seen Saturday night leaving the Terrace at Chestnut Hill, which is an assisted living facility where she worked overnight hours. Her vehicle was still out there, but police say there's currently no trace of her, no cell phone or social media activity. Investigators say the facility, which is about 2.5 miles from where we are right now, where the search is being conducted, it did not have surveillance cameras. Scott's family and friends have been tirelessly trying to locate her and recently posted a lot of flyers around the Mount Airy area. Police say Scott's disappearance is especially concerning because she had reported being harassed prior to going missing. We also know from sources that the FBI is out here taking part in the search at this hour, as well as assisting with the investigation. So we will stay on top of it as we continue to learn more details. But once again, it is unclear exactly what police are searching for, but they tell us it is in connection to the missing persons case of 23-year-old Kada Scott.
Say evidence led them to Albury Arboretum today in their search for 23-year-old Kada Scott. She's been missing since Saturday night when she was working an overnight shift. Authorities are concerned for her well-being. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson is live now in East Mount Airy with an update on a search that happened there today. Becca.
Sarah, investigators are calling.
Yeah, the thing about it, and I changed my mind, somebody said sometimes they do have cameras and things where they should be able to have functioning cameras. You feel me? Instead of that decoy shit. Like, we need functional cameras, you dig what I mean, at all of our working establishments. And I feel like right now that you should definitely have a Ring camera. Everybody in the world should have a Ring camera. You dig what I mean? If you know your friend don't have a Ring camera, gift them one for Christmas. Everybody should have a Ring camera because, like, you'll be surprised the smallest thing, that small little piece sometimes can just help solve a crime, bro. Imagine if we had ring cameras everywhere. You feel what I mean? People would be able to be found. We would be able to follow them around the city.
Her disappearance worrisome. They say there is evidence that she did not disappear of her own accord. That evidence led them to this area and the Arboretum behind me. Hundreds of cadets lined up together, arm in arm, to search every inch of it. You can see how the terrain is different in there. There's walking paths, there's fence, there's gardens, all these different areas for police to search. That took hours. And unfortunately, police say they didn't find much.
This is 23-year-old Kada Scott, missing for nearly a week now after going to work in Chestnut Hill and never coming home.
No one has received a call from her. We know her phone is not in operation anymore.
Police say new evidence led them to Albury Arboretum in East Mount Airy, about 3 miles from where Scott was last seen Saturday night at her job at the terrace at Chestnut Hill. The park is 55 acres, but police say they're focused on the area off of East Johnson Street.
Our information had this side where cars drive in and out of, so that's where we're going to look.
Police say they're using every resource available, including hundreds of cadets lined up for a grid search, drones, crime scene units, forensic experts, and specialty trained canines, including a cadaver dog and an electronics tracing dog. Police say they wanted to do the search the right way.
To this point, nothing has been found that's related to the investigation.
Any apartment complex that don't allow Ring cameras, I couldn't live there. Cause what the fuck do you mean? You know what I'm saying? If I want my property protected. Y'all ain't gonna do it. If y'all don't got cameras around this establishment that you can show me grid by grid that I'm gonna have a Ring camera.
We found some clothing items which we have no idea if they're related to this or not, but they were taken just to look into.
Scott was last seen wearing black scrubs. Police are calling her disappearance concerning. She had reported being harassed before she went missing.
It's a troubling missing person report. It's certainly troubling, so we don't know if foul play was involved, but we certainly see some signs that this person wasn't voluntarily missing.
It's very unsettling.
Neighbors near the Arboretum say they've been following this story and are horrified it's led police to their backyard.
I'm just praying for, like I said, for the family, for them to get some rest, some peace.
And answers to a lot of the questions they have. Most importantly, where is Kada Scott? Police remain here on the scene while this investigation is close to wrapping up at this point. I did speak with the police captain who was...
Yeah, we know that she been found. We're going to get into that evidence too. I was just getting people familiar who didn't know anything about it, giving them a little backstory of what I got we got the videos of her being found and all of that stuff. We're going to get into that in a minute. This is just basically for people to have a little summation of what happened.
Out here, and he said he remains hopeful for good news in this.
We begin with a Philadelphia family anxious for answers as they search for a loved one, a missing loved one. Family members of 23-year-old Kada Scott say they just want her home.
Yeah, their desperate plea comes as police tell us the homicide unit is now helping with this investigation. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson spoke with the family this afternoon. She joins us now live with more on what they're saying. Becca?
Brian and Sarah, everyone just wants answers in this case. They want to know what happened to Kada Scott. Police saying the homicide unit is now involved. Even though this isn't a homicide investigation at this point, police say these are the most experienced detectives on the force, and they will leave no stone unturned.
I love her. She's a great person.
A plea from a father who's now been searching for his daughter for 10 days. 23-year-old Kada Scott went missing Saturday, October 4th. She was last seen going to an overnight shift at her job in Chestnut Hill. She never made it home.
A lot of friends, family, again, a very creative, ambitious young lady, and we just went home safely.
Last Friday, there was a massive police search involving hundreds of cadets, canines, and drones at Aubrey Arboretum. Police say evidence led them there, but the search for Kada came up empty. The night before, police searched a home on the 5500 block of Belmar Terrace in Southwest Philadelphia. Kada's friends and family have...
Sometimes when I be looking at people going out to put flyers up, I want to start seeing more community. You know what I'm saying? I want to start seeing more community out there, bro. We got to start treating like when one person go missing like it's our family. I feel like presence is everything. Like we got to start weeding these people out. We know that there's going to be evil motherfuckers in the world, right? We even know that there's going to be some type of people in the world that we can't put a title to. However, we got to start making these people uncomfortable. The problem that we're having now is so many of them now. It's so many of them, and we're giving them passes to where they feel comfortable to blend in amongst us. No, we got to make the motherfuckers feel uncomfortable, bro. Like dead ass serious, this shit got to be normal. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So it's crazy as hell. It's crazy.
Out searching too.
Canvass the neighborhoods, any leads we could possibly get so we could forward to police in hopes of getting my daughter back home.
The 23-year-old was last seen wearing black scrubs. She had reported being harassed before she went missing. Her vehicle was still at her job as the investigation into her disappearance started, and her phone was dead, which both her family and police say was troubling.
Unable to call or text. That's just not her personality, especially not.
Yeah, fuck that Virgo the best.
Or her mom or her little sister to just let us know she's okay. So it's definitely unusual.
Now as the search is well into its second week, her family is anxious for answers and pleading for anyone who may know anything to come forward.
You never know what little small minuscule information may apply to the big picture, the puzzle that may actually get Kada home. So whatever you think can help, call in, report it to the police department. That might be the piece that they're looking for.
Now, police have also said that the family started a GoFundMe. They say that any money raised there is going to go to the person who can bring credible information that leads them to Kada. Live here at Police Headquarters, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6 Action News. Brian.
Right now, it's breaking news in the disappearance of 23-year-old Kada Scott. Philadelphia police have just revealed that a suspect has now been arrested and charged with kidnapping.
21-year-old Keon King is in police custody. Officials released new images of King's vehicle, which they believe was involved in her disappearance. Scott is still missing, and so is King's car. Investigators say they are proceeding with the search for both her and the vehicle as if she is still alive.
Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson's live for us now at police headquarters with more details on what we learned from police a short time ago. Becca?
John and Sarah, police say all roads in this case lead back to 21-year-old Keon King. He is in police custody, but investigators say he's not cooperating, and that's where police say you come in. They're hoping that you see King, you recognize his car, and you can help him track down that vehicle and hopefully also Kada Scott. This is 21-year-old Keon King. He's been charged with kidnapping. Police say he was the last person who was in contact with 23-year-old Kada Scott, missing for 11 days now.
Our evidence is pretty clear that she was in communication with an individual. That individual appears to meet her very shortly after she leaves her place of work.
Scott was last seen October 4th, shortly after she arrived at her overnight shift at her job in Chester.
He pisses me off just the way he look. You know what I'm saying? Just the way he look.
Chestnut Hill. Police believe at that point she was in contact with King and the two may have been together in this vehicle, a 1999 metallic gold Toyota Camry. They say they tracked this car all over the city and they're asking for your help to find it now.
We need to know where this car is. We need to find this car. Making this very clear, it's not to just focus on the northwest section of the city of Philadelphia.
At this point, police say they do not know where Scott is and are still trying to find her. Police say she did report being harassed before she went missing, but investigators would not say if the person harassing her were King or comment on the length or nature of their relationship. But police say this isn't the first time her alleged captor has been charged with this sort of crime. Police say King was charged last January for kidnapping and assault of a female acquaintance.
Like, see, this, and the reason why these motherfuckers be out is because they don't get nothing but like 2 weeks for shit like this. Heinous crimes, abduction, SA, all of that stuff. They be out in 2 weeks. You feel what I mean? Like, because it just goes to show you that women still don't have value. You know what I'm saying? When it come down to certain, these motherfuckers be right back out on the streets.
The case was dropped when the victim did not appear in court.
That case had been withdrawn by our office based on the witness failing to appear at court. I pulled that file, and after an extensive review of it, our office made the decision to refile those charges. We believe there is enough to proceed.
That means King is now facing charges for 2 kidnapping cases.
Ladies, I just got to say this real quick. I know that sometimes we get put in situations to where you're scared as hell. That's sometimes why women don't follow through on prosecuting these niggas, because A, we know they'll be right back out, and I get it. You know what I mean? You don't want to deal with the wrath of them coming back after you. But see, shawty, we got to start being okay with putting a paper trail down. If you don't show up to court, what that does is open up the doors for him to be able to kill somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta, I don't know what the fuck, but we gotta do better.
And again, police really want the public's help here. Any information on King, they say, will help investigators find out what happened to 23-year-old Kada Scott, still missing despite her alleged captor being in custody. Live here at police headquarters, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6 Action News. John.
Breaking right now, a car connected to the disappearance of 23-year-old Kada Scott has been located in Philadelphia's East Falls neighborhood.
Chopper 6 is live over the Gypsy Lane condos in East Falls, where the 1999 gold Toyota Camry was found this afternoon. It was just this morning that police said they were searching for that car as part of the investigation.
Well, that car was found just hours after police said they found personal items belonging to Scott at an abandoned school building in East Mount Airy. Let's go live now to Philadelphia police, who are giving an update on the car that was found.
Any reason that the information on the car was held back until today? You were tracking it around the city, and the information comes in today, and we have a car a couple hours later.
Again, it was the public's help. Okay, we suspected that car was attached to Mr. King. We had to gather the evidence enough to actually go look for the vehicle.
How long were police tracking this car?
I'm not going to get into that.
Any further conversations with Mr. King?
I'm not going to discuss that.
I'm sorry, you may have said this, but what is the connection to his
I'm not going to discuss that right now.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, nigga, why even hold a press conference if you weren't gonna discuss shit? You feel me?
Not a lot of additional details
Facts.
given by police. Of course, we're keeping an eye on the car that was found. It's Wednesday night. The big story on Action News is the breaking update in the search for Kada Scott. The 23-year-old has not been seen since October 4th.
And authorities did mention they have not found her body. The investigation obviously fluid and continuing. Action News continuing to follow this breaking news story. Let's go to Action News reporter John Paul, who's live at the scene in East Mount Airy with the
Cause that be making me feel like they ain't really conduct a search like that.
very latest.
Fast.
John.
Yeah, Rick, I'm over here in the Germantown area. This is the abandoned school where police were called to just a few hours ago, and they found some evidence. I want to bring you up to speed what we're seeing right now. There is still a van parked in the back, and what they're doing is we've seen crews actually boarding up windows. There are a lot of broken windows and holes here. We're not sure if the evidence was found inside the abandoned school or not. There's only one officer left here at the scene because about 30 or 40 minutes ago, they left the scene here to go over to East Falls, where that car was discovered.
We have a lot of digital evidence, video and other, which provides us with this individual.
An arrest tonight in the disappearance of 23-year-old Kada Scott, who hasn't been seen since October 4th. 21-year-old Keon King is now charged with kidnapping. Police say he was the last person to see Scott, and they were likely together in this 1999 gold Toyota Camry. The vehicle was just located.
Is my eyes playing? That look gold? Is that gold to y'all? What the fuck is wrong with me? Why that look metallic gray? That's gold to y'all?
A short time ago on the 4000 block of Gypsy Lane in East Falls.
We're not done our investigation. We need to find Miss Scott, figure out where she is, what may have happened to her.
Just over an hour after the news conference, a tip led police here to an abandoned middle school near Albury Arboretum in Germantown. It's close to an area police had canvassed last Friday.
Shortly after arriving out here, we were able to locate some physical evidence which ties Miss Scott to this scene. And obviously this is very substantial.
Sources tell Action News that evidence included clothing items and a debit card with Scott's name on it. Police used canines, drones, and crime scene technicians to search the grounds and could be seen circling evidence outside. Family members of Kada Scott heard about the search and they came out to the scene. They talked with investigators but were too distraught to talk with us about the case. Neighbors who are following this hope that Scott is found soon.
This is somebody's family. This is someone's loved one. And everyone is affected by the circumstances.
Thank you, Alicia, for the sub, boo.
Someone so evil could go and kidnap her. And we just want to find her alive.
And police are treating this as if she is still alive, as we are live over East Falls right now, and this is that Camry that police were looking for. It only took a few hours after the news conference this morning to locate this. We know the canines have been out there. Police are guarding that vehicle right now, and sources also confirm that...
Sometimes I think police be guarding information, and it seemed like if they probably would have released the information they probably already been knowing, that we probably would have found her a lot quicker. I don't like sometimes how police just play Russian roulette with evidence. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the family member, I want you to drop everything to social media. I don't give a fuck.
King's family lives in that area where that vehicle was found. Back out here live, we also know that King was arrested and charged with kidnapping and I believe assault on a female acquaintance. However, Shari, that case was later dropped when investigators say the victim didn't show up for court. We're live tonight in Germantown. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News.
New details on the man charged in the disappearance of Kada Scott. 21-year-old Keon King was in court today, now being held on $2.5 million bail. And as that case plays out, authorities now still searching for any sign of Kada Scott. It is Thursday afternoon. I'm Brian Taft.
And I'm Sarah Bloomquist. The big story on Action News is the arraignment of Keon King. He's facing kidnapping and other charges related to Scott's disappearance on October 4th. She has still not been found.
Well, today we learn more about the investigation into a previous kidnapping charge connected to King earlier this year. Action News reporter Annie McCormick live at Philadelphia Police Headquarters this afternoon with the latest. Another day of significant developments, Annie.
Brian, that's right. And King arraigned this morning, now facing that hefty bail of $2.5 million. Today, though, authorities are still looking for the missing woman. Keon King arraigned this morning and facing charges of kidnapping in connection.
That's why your dreads is linty. I don't like nothing about this nigga. And let me tell you something. If people change the way how this whole system is, I don't give a fuck about if you feel like a jail is inhumane. That's not my issue. Listen, if you wind up in jail, deal with the circumstances. Niggas don't want to tell no more, and niggas is not doing none of that because they comfortable in jail. They got everything in that motherfucker. Say they don't. Say they don't. Niggas can record music. They're on the internet. Like, why y'all making it so easy for these folks to just withhold information? You know what I'm saying? If I can go to jail and still live comfortably, you dig what I mean? I'm not saying shit either that can incriminate me. Take some of that shit away. You feel what I mean? Let these folks understand. Listen, bro, if you kill somebody, you get the death penalty. If you don't tell us where they at, it ain't no plea deal. It's that simple. Like, I feel like sometimes inmates got too many rights. Take that shit away. You got the same rights as me. Fuck, I mean, how you doing the right thing for?
Kada Scott, the 21-year-old, is facing a second charge of kidnapping in connection.
Yeah, they treat it like the man cave, like a den.
Case. Sources say this video circulating on social media stems from that same incident. The video is part of the investigation. Yesterday,
oh hell nah. If I seen that nigga walking up, I would be shook. He would have to get pew. Nah, nigga, do you see that nigga?
2025 case. Sources say this video circulating on social media stems from that same incident. The video is part of the investigation. Yesterday, the district attorney's office explained why the case was ultimately dropped.
He did have a previous case. It
The
was a
hell?
2025 case for very similar conduct, strangulation and kidnapping. That case had been withdrawn by our office based on the witness failing to appear at court.
Today, homicide detectives were back in the area.
You know what's so crazy to me? Because the case was withdrawn, right? Was withdrawn because the witness didn't show up. But something weird, heinous and shit like that. How come when black men get caught with little ounces of bud and a motherfucker don't show up, the state will pick it up? Why don't the state pick this type of shit up? You know what I mean? If you see a woman pretty much retract what she been said, but there's evidence to say that he's a monster, then why you won't pick that shit up? I don't get that part. I mean, what's to say what they pick up?
Of yesterday's extensive searching for video. Wednesday, they combed the grounds near the closed Ada Middle School in East Mount Airy, across from the Aubrey Arboretum, where they searched last week. Police say a tip led them to physical evidence there, including a phone case, and sources say they found a debit card with Scott's name on it. Police also took King's car, a 1999 metallic gold Toyota Camry, from his mother's condo complex in East Falls. Crime scene investigators are processing it today. Scott was last seen October 4th, going to an overnight shift at her job
Hey,
at
Kiki.
Chestnut Hill. Police say
She was fine at the school. We're going to go to that part. I was, for the people that's just tuning in, I'm giving people a synopsis and a little background for the people who didn't know the story. We do know now that her body was recovered, and we're going to jump into that in like 10 more minutes or whatever, but we was just giving people a background on what happened with Kada.
went missing. Investigators would not say if the person harassing her was King or comment on their relationship. And Brian and Sarah, Scott has now been missing 12 days. Authorities are emphasizing, even though you're seeing in the news word of a suspect, they still need any tip that the public may have. Again, 215-686-TIPS. We're now reporting live outside of Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Annie McCormick, Channel 6.
Search for 23-year-old Kada Scott of Philadelphia is nearing 2 weeks and developing overnight. Her family announced a $10,000 reward for information that leads to her safe recovery. Action News reporter Kada Scott has been following the search and joins us live at the Kern Fromhold Correctional Facility, where her accused abductor remains in custody. Catherine.
That's right, Matt. Keon King remains here at Kern Fromhold. Meanwhile, the search continues today. Her family is so worried about her. They've raised reward money, hoping for her safe return.
I need my daughter home, so that's the only thing I'm looking forward to.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since 23-year-old Kada Scott vanished, and her father says he'll not stop until she's home. Her family has been raising a reward fund for information leading to her safe return. 21-year-old Keon King has been arraigned, charged for kidnapping and her disappearance, now being held on $2.5 million bail. He's also facing a second kidnapping charge in connection with a separate case from January 2025. Sources say this video circulating on social media stems from that same incident and is part of the investigation.
Now, to the search for answers in the disappearance of Kada Scott, who vanished nearly 2 weweeks ago in Philadelphia. Faith Abube is here with the latest, including a chilling new video that this morning that's now part of the investigation. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Michael. That video was posted on TikTok. A woman claiming it shows a man trying to break into her house. Police telling ABC News that they believe that the man you're about to see in that video is the suspect, now charged with kidnapping Kada Scott.
Bye. Keon out here.
This morning, police investigating this video showing who they believe to be Keon King, the suspect.
It's no way that the DA could see that video and let this nigga go. Like that, to me, I don't need nobody else. The video was sufficient enough for me to be like, this nigga got an issue. Like, I don't understand how the DA been had this video, you feel what I'm saying, and still feel like, okay, we gonna drop the charges because the victim didn't show up. Did it ever pop up in your brain that the victim might be scared as fuck because of shit like this? Like, it ain't no way you can see that video and let this nigga walk.
Connected to the disappearance of 23-year-old nursing assistant Kada Scott, a man seen peeking through.
Like, who does this? Who the fuck does this? This nigga look like he's crazy as hell. If I'm the DA, I'm automatically pressing charges on him. First of all, you can automatically get him from trespassing. Nigga, this ain't your house. This house ain't for sale. What the fuck you peeping in my window for? Bro, see, I don't get stuff like that.
Through the window from outside in the yard. It's unclear when or where this video was taken. Now, the race against time to find Scott, who police say vanished mid-shift while working at this assisted living facility in Philadelphia nearly 2 weeks ago.
We need to find Miss Scott, figure out where she is, or what may have happened to her to cause her to completely disappear from all her items, her phone.
Authorities say they believe Scott was last in contact with 21-year-old King, arrested and charged with kidnapping and recklessly endangering another person, and is being held on a $2.5 million bail. Investigators say before Scott disappeared, she told relatives she was being harassed, though it has yet to be determined if the person harassing her was King. But officials say their suspect does have a pattern of similar crimes.
He did have a previous case. It was a 2025 case for very similar conduct, strangulation and kidnapping.
Then it was this year.
Had been withdrawn
You gotta be
by our
fucking.
office
I know you fucking
based
lying.
on,
So this nigga had an outcry from another witness this year, 2025, and y'all got this nigga running around here rampant.
the witness failing to appear at court. I pulled that file, and after an extensive review of it, our office made the decision to refile those charges.
Investigators relying on tips from the public, crediting one of those tips with helping to find the suspect's car. Scott's family.
Nigga looking like the goddamn boogeyman himself. Like that serious. We finna get into the final of when they found her and stuff like that. I just wanted to get you guys up to speed, but we'll get into it right now. Just for 1 second.
Just want to give you an update on the case regarding 23-year-old Kada Scott, who went missing on October 4th. A little bit of a somber and grateful moment here right now.
Right, Rihanna.
Based on tips that have come in over the past few days, as we called on earlier this week, asking for the public to provide any information, any tips, and the public has been fantastic in providing tips and information, and we greatly appreciate that. But based on a tip that came in last night through the night, investigators began the process of following up on that tip this morning, starting around 10 o'clock this morning, following up on that tip. And the tip was very specific that led us back to this location here today, which you all know we were out here earlier in the week doing a little bit of a search. And so based on the investigative information, based on the investigation and what they were following up on that tip today, led us back to this area behind the school, where it's a wooded area. I don't know if any of you have been back there, but it's a wooded area that goes beyond the school. And so when we begin to go back into that area where we would locate.
So in other words, what you're saying is that you was there at the area and you didn't go further enough. You feel me? You supposed to blanket the area, the whole perimeter, not just the school. You feel me? No, because days be wasted for fuck shit.
A shallow grave after being able to remove some of the debris back there, able to locate the body of a human being. All indications at this point is that it's a female. We are not going to confirm at this point that it is Miss Kada Scott, because that has to be done by the medical examiner's office. But we have been in communication with her family as to this process, and the fact that we have recovered a human being. And so at this point, it's still a lot of work to be done. I'll be very candid that we can't answer but so many questions. I'm not going to get into the investigation at this point, because we want to make sure that all of the pieces to this are done correctly, and that we don't put out information ahead of time, because we want the people and the person that we have in custody and anybody else that may be involved in this, we want them held accountable to the highest degree of the law for what they have done. And so I just want that to be clear as to why we will not get into specific details. And so that's where we're at this point. Still a lot of work, but I must say a lot of work has been done around this case. As you know, we've been searching.
I bet you if the police departments start having a goddamn put up the money for them ransoms and stuff like that, and for all of that shit, I bet you they start solving crimes a lot faster then.
Done multiple searches. We shut down the police academy. That was a decision made by myself and Commissioner Bethel to shut down the police academy over a week ago, where we brought out the entire group of recruits to comb through this area. Again, so I know no one is happy that this is the ending, and completely understand that this is a lot on our investigators, a lot on all of us, because again, we all have family members, and this could have been any one of our family members. It could be anybody's family member, and that's understood. And that's the reason that you see that the tireless work has been done by starting with Northwest Detectives, and then by homicide, by our partners through the FBI, through our forensics office, through any and everybody that has been a part of this process, because we wanted to bring some level of closure to this family. And so, again, we're going to wait until we have official confirmation on, as the medical examiner is going to do their process, and then we will bring that confirmation. But that's where we are right now. Again, I can't reiterate enough how much we appreciate, tips and information that are coming from the public. I still will urge the public that if you have any information, anything that you think is related to this, continue to give us that information via 215-686-TIPS. Still continue to give us that information, because again, we don't know if there are other individuals that have been a victim of this individual that we have in custody. And so I just want that to be clear, that please continue to provide that information if you have anything. But that's where we are at this point. I would also ask you to continue to pray for Ms. Scott's family.
What's the process of getting that official confirmation whether it's her?
Well, at this point now, we're on the medical examiner's timeline. And so they will, the body will be recovered and transported to the medical examiner's office, and then they will go through their process methodically to ensure that, again, everything is done right. There's a court case that has to come behind this, and that's what I just want to be clear. I know sometimes it seems like the information is not coming fast enough, but we have a job to Ms. Scott, we have a job to her family. Again, if this is confirmed that this is her, to ensure that we are doing everything in the proper way to make sure that the individuals are held accountable. So we don't want to do anything to compromise that. And so that's why we will be on their timeline. Once we get confirmation, then we will give that to you all and be able to move forward with that process.
This area was combed earlier this week. I'm wondering why it took until now for the remains.
Facts, Kamat.
Have you ever been in the woods of any location?
I'm from Appalachia.
Okay, and so then you can understand that it's not an easy process. And when you know that you're looking for something, but don't know where someone hid it, it's not that easy of a process. And so we were here, we were on the other side. We had plans to do some additional searches as the weekend concluded, and as well as going into next week. And so the area where we were back here. We were back here. And our dogs were back here, officers were back here. Again, there is a lot of wooded area. And so
yeah, and I think it was also said too, you know what I mean, or whatever, that somebody, anonymous tip came in saying, hey, y'all got to keep looking. You feel what I mean? And I just don't like his tone. Because nigga, if you put the whole police academy down, if you close the whole thing and you have people recruits and shit looking, then therefore, man, you should be looking for ground disturbance and thing. I'm not understanding why you got a tone, nigga. And what the fuck is wrong with your stash? You know what I mean? You got a high-low stash.
We're grateful today that we're here. Make no mistake about it, if we had located the body yesterday, this in terms of this discovery would not.
It sounded like the parents just found out that was their kid. Because what was that noise?
We had located the body yesterday. This in terms of this discovery would not. This person has been deceased for a few days, and so for some time. I'm not going to say how many days, but this didn't just happen yesterday. And so, yeah, we did a lot of work. And again, I'm proud of the men and women in this organization that have, been doing the work to try to locate Ms. Scott. And again, in our minds, we know this was a possible reality, and here we are, unfortunately.
The flare shut your ass up.
As I said, I am not going to get into any of the investigative process because I don't want to mess up this case. And I don't want anyone picking apart what we say and trying to create a defense. I want to make sure that we do our jobs in the most diligent way. We give the district attorney's office an opportunity to do their job in the most diligent way, and that we get a prosecution on this incident here. And so I'm not going to get into any part.
You was there, Kamak? Am I saying your name right, Kamak? 69, you was there? Damn.
Parts of the investigation, not out of disrespect, but just simply because I want to make sure that the person we have in custody and anybody else that was involved in this, that they are held accountable the way that they should be. And so that's why I'm not getting into the specifics of the case.
The specific tip that came in, could you get into more detail about what was specific about it? Is it in location and was it from a community member?
I won't get into the specifics. It's an anonymous tip that came in through our tip line, as we have been asking for. But it was very specific as to detailing us and directing us to a specific location in the wooded area, going back to your question, a very specific location that narrowed it down. Don't know who the tip is from, but grateful that the individual submitted the tip that brought us back here to this location this morning.
Just last question. Forget the cursing and the yelling at you guys. It just shows that there's passion behind this. What do you want to say about the passion of the community? They were out here, as you know, last night searching as well. Just your thoughts on just the community's involvement in this case.
Listen, I am not offended by the passion that some of the remarks that have been made as we were walking back. I'm not offended at all because that's people's emotion, and this is an emotional situation, and so it's to be understood. However, I know what we have done in the amount of hours that have been put into this process of trying to locate Ms. Scott. I know the work that has been done to bring the individual in the custody that we have in custody, and I know the work that these investigators will continue to do to ensure that we wrap this case up and that we do everything to hold the people accountable in the proper way. And so listen, we can't be upset at that. I mean, that's emotion. If that was my family member or if I was someone I knew, I would have the same level of emotion. And listen, to be quite frank about it, the reason I go through the steps of what we have done is because not every community member, they don't know that we shut down the police academy. So
first of all, man, I'm so sorry. And second of all, if it wasn't for y'all, the community, you know what I'm saying, the community of Philly, we wouldn't even be here. And see, that's why I keep stressing, Shawty, it's going to take us. These motherfuckers, bro, come on, man. They just know how to look good in front of cameras, boy. It's going to take us. Damn, bro.
Bring 300 recruits up here to go searching through an area. They don't know that. They don't know that we had teams of dogs from New Jersey State Police come into Philadelphia to help us in the search process. They don't know that. And so it's my job to make sure that I express that so they know that this police department, we took this case serious. We take every case serious, but the work that's been done to again, bring this to some conclusion. Is this the conclusion that we wanted? Absolutely not. But at this point now, we have to do everything in our power to ensure that we bring justice for this family and some level of closure. And so to answer that, no, it's understandable. Listen, that passion you need, because that's also the passion that helps you drive in the tips. That's the passion that gets you to have the support from the community and getting the information that we got. And so it's understandable.
It's just so gut-wrenching to hear the sounds in the background. And it's certain sounds that's going to always be specific. You feel me? That sound of when a mother has to witness their child being loaded in a van and the people who loved her just as much. You know what I'm saying? That feeling is like a feeling, and it's like a sound you don't ever really want to hear. And I'm hearing it, and it's breaking my heart, because you be wanting a different outcome. You be wanting your child to be found no matter what, but you don't want them found like that. So it's really hurt my heart so bad, bro.
Can we hear from the ADA as well?
Absolutely.
Once and if it is confirmed that this is Kada, what does this mean?
Exactly. That's what he just saying when the dogs was back there. I'm like, how in the fuck, you know what I'm saying, y'all had dogs? And what kind of dogs y'all got? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got the right dogs, because if she was in a shallow grave, they was supposed to be able to smell that. Fuck you out here doing? It was just showing you they wasn't where they was supposed to be. They wasn't looking at everywhere. I mean, these niggas be killing me. That's why I don't get comfortable. That's why I don't feel comfortable when police say they search the area. I don't be comfortable, because like, look at the shit that be overlooked. Bro, like seriously, and we got all of these different type of cases that we done did. We doing the Aiyana Sawyer case right now. Desire Harris, bodies that has not been found. And sometimes you have to wonder, like, was the police right there? You know what I'm saying? And the baby just was looked over.
It means that we do our job. It means that we take everything that we know. We take everything that we found out today. We let the MEs do what they do, and then everything will come to us, and we'll make the determination of whether we add additional charges.
And what would those additional charges be?
Once we hear from the ME, I'll have a better answer on that. Obviously, we're like you said, we're going in order. Right now, we're on to the ME. They're going to do their investigation. As soon as we hear from them, it'll guide us in what we do.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Damn. Time out. I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. So you mean to tell me they searched this school, but they didn't get there? That's like right there. That's not all the way back in the woods. That's not all the way back in the woods. Bro, the way this man was talking, you would have thought that he was like miles inside. That's like literally right there. Ain't no way they had no dogs, shawty. Ain't no way, bro. Shawty, that is literally, it looks to be like at least 20 steps from the concrete. They lying like fuck. Dead ass. It's no way. Bro, I'm thinking that these folks was talking about they was deep in the woods. Look where they at, y'all. You seen where the body was. This was the confirmation that she was found, and I'm going to read it to you. This is the statement of the mayor, you know what I mean, or whatever. There are no words that I can employ to remove the unimaginable pain and turmoil that the family of Kada Scott is experiencing with the tragic loss of their beloved daughter, sister, and loved one. However, I am a praying mayor who wholeheartedly believes in the power of God's strength. I pray that God will give the family a certain peace that passes all understanding to meet this moment. The city of Philadelphia is here to support them in any way that we can. We will continue to stay by their side, respectfully submitted. So there goes the confirmation that was indeed her that was found, okay? And that just pissed me off.
We begin with breaking news in Philadelphia, where law enforcement sources tell Fox 29 a DNA test confirms the body found Saturday morning in East Germantown belongs to 23-year-old Kada Scott. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jennifer Lee. Kada was last seen on October 4th after arriving for an overnight shift at a senior living facility. Let's go out to Kelly Rule live at police headquarters tonight with the details on this devastating update. And Kelly, what are your sources telling you?
Well, Jennifer, law enforcement sources tell me tonight that anonymous tip that led to Saturday's search was someone telling police to please go back to the former Ada Lewis Middle School, asking them to search for Kada again. And this time they gave a specific location in a wooded area behind the school. Sources also tell me the man in custody for Kada's alleged kidnapping, 21-year-old Keon King, is expected to be charged with additional crimes this week.
I would like to know who this anonymous is. You feel what I'm saying? Because for them to have all those type of specifics, like what the hell you have? I mean, like who was he? Who was they? You feel me? Like that's a lot of specifics. How you know? Or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not thankful that they called in, but that, you know, that what is the fuck is that?
A tragic update in the disappearance of 23-year-old Kada Scott. Tonight, law enforcement sources telling Fox 29 that a DNA test of a body found Saturday morning in East Germantown confirms that the remains belong to Kada. Sources say the test showed a 99.9% match to DNA collected from Kada's parents. Tonight, we're also learning more about that anonymous tip that led investigators back to the area behind the former Ada Lewis Middle School Saturday morning, an area previously searched by police. That tipster, according to sources, asked police to please go back, saying they missed her, and gave a specific location in a wooded area behind the vacant school. When officers went back, an officer reportedly stepped on newly disturbed dirt, where they eventually found a body in a shallow grave. Kada's debit card and phone case were found in a different area by the school in the previous search. Kada went missing the night of October 4th after arriving for her overnight shift at the Terrace at Chestnut Hill, a senior living facility in East Mount Airy. Her car was left in the parking lot, but personal items like her phone and keys were missing. More than a week later, officials announced charges against 21-year-old Keon King for kidnapping, false imprisonment, and stalking in connection with Kada's disappearance. Investigators believed King was the last person to see her the night she disappeared. The district attorney says a previous kidnapping and assault case involving King, which was dismissed when a key witness failed to appear, was refiled. Sources tell Fox 29 King is expected to be charged with additional crimes this week, including stolen car charges and arson. And again, this is very much an active and ongoing investigation, and certainly the outcome that Kada's family, friends, and the community never ever wanted. Now, the medical examiner's office have not released any details publicly about Kada's case, nor have they ruled her cause and manner of death, which could take some time to determine. Jennifer.
Yes, still so many more questions left. Our Kelly Rule live for us at police headquarters tonight. Thank you.
Just want to give you an update.
Damn, bro. This don't never be the outcome that you want, but it just goes to show you that we got a fucking serious issue with our judicial system. It ain't working for us. It's not working for us. Like, that serious. It's pissing me off. Something terrible. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna get into some more, y'all.